Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's jump straight into an absolute mind-bender of a case today. We're looking at a mystery that completely defies logic. Imagine a financial analyst named Daniel Mercer. 34 years old, absolutely spotless record, right? No criminal history whatsoever. But he's found dead, floating in a dark, muddy river right beneath an abandoned bridge. At first glance, it seems like an open and shut tragic accident. But, as we're going to see in the source material we're breaking down today, this turns into an impossible paradox. Together, we're going to untangle exactly how a man who is officially, legally declared dead somehow managed to orchestrate a massive, citywide catastrophe. So, let's unravel this timeline.
Okay, let's dive into this. Picture it. It's a rainy, miserable night in a Chicago apartment, and Detective Elena Brooks hits play on a seriously chilling voicemail. The voice on the recording is shaky, and it's whispering these exact words. If you're hearing this, don't trust the police. They're already inside the building. And right after that, 3 loud, distinct bangs. They sound exactly like gunshots. Then, just dead silence. But you know, the truly terrifying part of this isn't just the message itself. It's who sent it, and more importantly, exactly when it was sent.
Because this is right where the entire case gets turned completely upside down. Get this. The official time of death on Daniel Mercer's certificate had already been signed off on. Done deal. But that frantic, terrifying voicemail coming from Daniel's own phone number, it was sent exactly 27 minutes after he was legally declared dead. I mean, wow, this right here creates our core paradox. Either Daniel Mercer is somehow miraculously alive, or somebody is going to some incredibly extreme lengths to make the Chicago police chase a ghost.
Now, you might be wondering why Detective Brooks immediately doubted the coroner's ruling of an accidental drowning. Well, we just need to look at the physical anomalies found at the crime scene. First off, despite being pulled from this incredibly murky, muddy river, Daniel's shoes were perfectly clean. We're talking spotless, absolutely no mud, 0 river algae. It was almost as if the body had been carefully, intentionally placed into the water after the fact. But the real clincher? Tucked inside his jacket pocket was a train ticket to London, dated for the very next morning. Seriously, ask yourself, who books a European getaway for the day after they supposedly drowned?
So, naturally, that suspicious train ticket leads Elena straight over to Daniel's apartment. At first, everything looks completely, totally normal. That is, until she spots this slightly crooked photo frame hanging on the bedroom wall. She pulls it back, and boom, a hidden safe. Inside, $48,000 in cold hard cash, a totally forged passport under a completely different name, and this really mysterious USB drive with a very specific, very alarming label. If they find me, release everything. But before Elena can even begin to process what she's holding, a little red laser dot suddenly appears right on her chest.
What happens next is an absolute masterclass in tension. Snap. The apartment lights go completely black. Bullets suddenly shatter the glass. Elena dives straight behind the kitchen counter to take cover. Then, she hears them. Heavy, deliberate footsteps walking into the room. This intruder isn't here for a robbery. They are actively hunting for that USB drive. Elena crawls silently across the floor, grabs her service weapon, and just waits. In pitch black, the footsteps stop. And then an unbelievable stroke of luck happens. The killer's cell phone rings. That single fleeting second of auditory distraction is all Elena needs. She fires twice, and the intruder just crashes backward out the window, vanishing into the alley below.
By the time police backup finally arrives, the intruder's long gone. But they made a mistake. They left behind a single breadcrumb, one thick black glove, and tucked deep inside that glove is a small silver key. Elena takes that key and traces the assassin's path from the apartment safe all the way to a desolate, rundown storage facility on the very edge of the city, specifically Locker 247. And let me tell you, what she uncovers inside completely rewrites everything we know about this case.
Because the contents of Locker 247 take this from a weird murder to a massive, sprawling conspiracy. We are talking stacks of burner phones, multiple high-quality fake IDs, and actual surveillance photos tracking high-level politicians. But the item that literally makes Elena's blood run cold is the very last one she finds. It's a photograph of her, Elena herself. And, flipped over on the back, someone has scrawled, "She asks too many questions." What makes this truly horrifying? That photo was taken 2 days earlier. Daniel Mercer had been watching the detective before he supposedly died. No way, right?
And this brilliantly illustrates the real danger here, because right next to those photos, she finds a laptop. It's already powered on. And dominating the entire screen is a countdown timer, 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 44 seconds, just ticking down. relentlessly.
Right beneath that glowing red timer is this incredibly ominous text: "When this reaches 0, everyone pays." So yeah, we have officially moved way past a staged drowning and a crooked wall safe. The stakes just went through the roof. This isn't just about covering up a single crime anymore. Whatever is loaded onto that laptop threatens to trigger a massive, mass casualty or mass damage event.
Okay, this is the absolute pivotal turning point. Up until this exact moment, the police assumed Daniel was just a whistleblower, right? They figured he stumbled onto some dangerous information, some powerful people killed him to keep his mouth shut, and that USB drive was just his insurance policy. But what the evidence actually proved is so much more sinister. That USB didn't hold government secrets or mob ties. Daniel Mercer was never the victim in this story. He was the architect of the whole shebang.
The source material defines this perfectly as the head fake. When Elena finally manages to decrypt that USB drive, the truth comes out. She realizes Daniel engineered this massive, devastating stock market cyber attack designed to make literally billions of dollars just vanish within hours. The body floating in the river, the perfectly clean shoes, that terrifying pre-recorded voicemail with the gunshots. Guys, it was all an elaborate distraction. He wanted the authorities spinning their wheels, wasting all their resources hunting phantom murder suspects. It gave him the absolute perfect smokescreen to escape overseas with all that money.
So, Elena instantly traces the laptop signal, which points her straight to a massive, densely crowded train station. Security footage confirms the impossible. Daniel Mercer is, in fact, alive. He is spotted on camera wearing a gray cap and sunglasses, looking completely, utterly calm. In fact, he's actually smiling. He looks exactly like a guy who has already won the game. His getaway vehicle, the Eurostar, and it departs in exactly 18 minutes. If he gets on that train, the cyber attack triggers automatically, and the entire banking system collapses.
Elena is sprinting through this massive station, pushing through the crowds, and she finally corners Daniel down in a dark, empty maintenance tunnel right beneath the platforms. He just laughs softly and asks her, "Do you really think this is just about the money?" And here his true motive finally comes to light. See, 3 years earlier, a massive, powerful investment company used these highly illegal trading schemes that entirely destroyed Daniel's family, left him with nothing. And the absolute kicker, not a single person went to prison. Nothing. So Daniel decided to build a revenge plan massive enough to wipe out the entire financial system that allowed that injustice to happen in the first place.
So, the crucial point is, Daniel isn't just a thief. He whispers this incredibly twisted philosophy to Elena right there in that echoing tunnel. He tells her, "You know what people fear most, detective? Not death. Powerlessness." He doesn't just want to steal their money. He wants the very people who ruined his family to feel the exact same total, crushing lack of control that he felt. He wants them powerless. And right as he delivers this chilling line, Elena notices something absolutely terrifying blinking in the shadows right behind him. Attached to this heavy, physical server device sitting right next to him is the detonator. And the timer? It leaves almost no room to breathe. 2 minutes, 11 seconds. That's it. Every single second matters now. The tension here is just absolute.
Daniel slowly raises his gun, completely forcing her into an impossible corner. He asks her, "Stop me or save the city." Put yourself in her shoes for a second. What would you do? If she shoots Daniel, that timer might hit 0, and the blast takes out the servers, the tunnel, the station, everything. But if she dives for the bomb to stop the cyber attack, Daniel just shoots her dead and walks away anyway. It is literally the ultimate psychological trap.
But here is where we get hit with the double head fake. Elena makes her choice. She aims away from Daniel, firing straight at the server to stop the blast. But nothing happens. Daniel just smirks at her. The server, it's completely fake. He casually reveals that the real upload actually started 10 minutes ago. Believing he has completely, thoroughly outsmarted her, Daniel aims his weapon right at Elena and pulls the trigger to end it once and for all. Click. The gun is completely empty. No bullets. How on earth did that happen? Well, because Elena is a phenomenal detective, that's how. Earlier, way back during the evidence inspection of the shootout at his apartment, she had noticed these faint, tiny scratches on the magazine of Daniel's weapon. Anticipating they'd eventually cross paths, she had meticulously, quietly removed the bullets without him having any clue. It is just the ultimate prediction payoff. And for the very first time in this entire story, Daniel panics. As police sirens start echoing down into the tunnel, he turns and just blind runs away in pure terror, straight into the path of an ongoing high-speed maintenance train. The impact is brutal, and then instant silence.
Fast forward 3 days. The cyber attack is successfully contained by the authorities. The money is safe. Daniel Mercer, the brilliant, twisted architect of all this chaos, is officially dead. Like, for real this time. The immediate threat is neutralized, all the paperwork is filed, and the case is officially closed. Elena Brooks won. But, come on, you know how stories like this go. Is it ever really over?
Just as Elena is finally trying to put this entire nightmare behind her, her phone rings. It's a voicemail from an unknown number, and a familiar, chillingly calm voice whispers through the static. You stopped one of us, but not the others. It just completely shatters that whole illusion of victory. Who on earth are the others? Just how deep does this whole syndicate actually go? It leaves us questioning literally everything we just learned. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this incredible explainer today, and remember, keep questioning what you see.